is Pretzel, also known as Nina. I'm an expat teacher, and this is my video vlog of my hardest journey coming back to Saigon, Vietnam. There were many unexpected twists of fate on the first attempt to get through the aviation's operational procedures and country-to-country's requirements to make it possible to fly from Manila to Ho Chi Minh City. Weather was one of the challenges, and the rest will be shown in this vlog. Let me show you on how I did make it through. But first, allow me to take you back to the very first step of this journey. At around 2:30, my sister and I left home and headed to St. Luke's Medical Hospital. I heard stories from other people and even from my sister how painful this test would be. But I prepared my mind and expect the bad to worse experience. So here's the moment I got tested. The set flight that showed me a little hope was booked in November, yet the date of flight was on the 19th of December 2020, so I had to have the real-time PCR test 3 to 7 days prior to my flight.
PR591?
It's actually one of the vital requirements of nearly all countries for essential travel. To tell you honestly, the 19th itinerary wasn't my first attempt to book a flight. In fact, it was my third. My first and second attempts were cancelled by the other airlines without telling me the exact reasons. But this one seemed to push through. This December 19th flight, I contacted the airline several times, and their agent said that there were no flight cancellations noticed yet. I took the test 4 days before my flight to have the ample time getting a certificate with negative results. It was December 15 when I did my first official PCR COVID test, a drive-through process scheduled and paid via online. It's actually for contactless transaction purpose. So I prefer it this way for less exposure to COVID virus. Within 24 to 48 hours, the result will be sent to my mailbox. December 17th afternoon, when I got the PCR test from St. Luke's website, and thank God, I'm negative of COVID-19. Later that day, I got this news from my mailbox and made me frantic. Called the airline several times, asked for their recommendations, but didn't get any until 19th of December. I decided to take risk and go to the airport to know what's the cause of the flight cancellation. It's 4 hours before flight is the suggested time to be in the airport during pandemic travels. It was rainy morning of December 19, 2020, when my siblings brought me there. That moment, I literally had no assurance to fly, but I was after with a solution, since all my documents are prepared by my company since August of 2020. The gate bound for Saigon is open, and the queue is ongoing too. But I was stopped at the check-in counter due to lack of airport clearance to my destination. I called up my employer and canceled my transport, hotel quarantine booking, and medical bookings in Vietnam. I considered this third travel attempt as a flunk, but not without a leap of faith, because I was able to get the vital information to be able to fly. The only dilemma would be, when is the next available flight from Manila to Saigon? Monday morning of December 21, 2020, my company started to make move to comply with additional documents, and another flight ticket had to be purchased in Saigon airline office. The closest date was December 28, 2020, and it's the last flight for this year. Oh gosh. 23rd was the deadline for my papers based on the airline timetable, and it's still for approval. A few more ups and downs till 22nd of December. My up-to-date papers were submitted for travel clearance. 24th of December, to be exact, was the day that I got the approval for Saigon arrivals, and immediately, I booked another RT-PCR test. In fact, the first test was void for most countries only except 7 or less days, including Vietnam, and the swab test I had was long overdue. On December 24, 2020, I had my RT-PCR test drive-through again. This time, I took the 24 hours guarantee result for its needed attachment with my other documents. Well, early morning of 25th, it's the Christmas day. I got the result sent to my mailbox, and thank God it's negative again. It was actually a Christmas present, I could say. That same day, I called the airline for any cancellations, or questioned them would I be able to fly on the 28th. By 26th of December, they acknowledged me being on the approval list for departure on December 28, 2020. Yes, finally! 28th of December. It's quarter to 3 a.m. My siblings gave me a ride to the airport. In just 15 minutes of travel time, we got there. No traffic jam, less travelers caused by the pandemic. Heading to the entrance? What's so funny was that the lady guard even remembered me after our first meeting on the 19th. Ha ha ha. After counter check-in, the gates were closed and a few people to see around. The stores were mostly shut. I was not used to see these before the pandemic. At the gate, way back it was just passport and ticket that were to be presented. Now additional papers are to be checked. It was just 8 passengers were on board including me, and we were in a social distancing scenario. I've never experienced this before though. Who had, right? As the aircraft departed at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, I realized there's no assurance when would be the time we'd all travel how we are used to. I don't even know when I can come back to Philippines as safe as the old normal. That I'd be leaving my prince during this pandemic time, as this is a call of duty. But just like dawn time, there is light to shine after one, just like a rainbow after a rain, that there is hope